What else is going on, man? I did some streaming again today.
You did.
It was a lot of fucking fun.
Yeah. You look like you're having a lot of fun there.
Yeah. Nuclear Throne was scratching that itch for me. So was Photoshop, honestly. Doing Photoshop
Give me
fun.
those creepy eyes.
Yeah. What are you doing, those creepy eyes?
Ooh.
And then we swapped it. You didn't get a chance to see the one where we swapped it.
No,
We put your eyes on Pete, and he just looked like he was trying real hard to take that dump, and it just wasn't coming.
Yeah, it looked just like that, but with a beard and a baseball cap. The Joe me was.
No.
It was funny because I was like, I'm gonna make a Joe Mallow, and I just like kept painting features in. And I was like, oh, they're the same person.
I mean, Joe and I usually are the people who are agreeing with each other a lot on the.
It's
on
true.
The, on
Hey,
the
now,
chat.
here's the question to ask: have you ever seen Joe and Mallow in the same room together?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Look, Joe came up and introduced himself to me at PAX.
So you
true.
say.
I wasn't
So
there
you
to see
say.
that, so therefore,
Stryker wasn't there. All right.
even though I was at
wasn't there.
PAX, but I did not see this occurrence.
Who's your witness?
Woody. I'll make Woody can be mine. I don't know. You don't know me. You don't know.
No, I don't, Joe.
I tear off my mask, and it's a lizard guy. And then you tear off the next mask, and then it's a horse. You tear off the next mask, and it's Sterling Archer. And then you tear off the mask, and it's just me again. It's
You're
like, hey, how
what
you
the
doing?
hell?
I just like masks. I just wear masks.
Welcome to Super Magical Podcast, a show where we take a sincere, sarcastic, and this week, Shintaki look at the world of video games, TV, music, movies, and more. I am back in the studio, as always, joined by Hoover. How are you, sir?
Doing all right, man.
And here to keep us honest is our intrepid intern, Stryker. How are you doing, sir?
I am good, sir.
Good. On this week's show, we just gonna. Can you get it? Can I get a no?
No, like that.
Shit show, because that's what Batman is turning into
100%.
right now. 100% shit show.
Oh man.
Called it.
I didn't get you a cookie. I
Top
said on
notch.
social
Yep.
media I would get you a cookie, but I didn't get
Called
you a cookie.
it.
Top notch, man. I honestly thought that they were at least going to make it through rewrites, but Matt Reeves walked away from the table before he even took it. Technically, we were all wrong. But you were pretty fucking close. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That
On
is-
last week's show, what you said it was 4 weeks?
3.
You said 3 weeks last week on the show. He didn't even make it to the contract signing, really.
He didn't even make it to the next episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
That's true.
1 week.
That's
Let's
true.
put it that way.
He did not even make it to the entire episode of the podcast. We were all playing D&D last night and got the alert at the same time, and we're like, what the fuck?
And I just went, called it.
6 days. 6 days from whenever we called
6
that.
days. Damn.
That is very impressive, sir. I love the fact that it's such a shit show down there that Matt Reeves like walks in and he was like, "Yeah, I'm willing to help," and he just sees like monkeys flinging poo across a conference room, and he's just like,
Nope.
whoa,
I'm out. I'm out.
Whoa.
I'm
It
out.
just backs into the hedges.
I've had enough with the damn monkeys. That's probably what he said.
Well, I mean, think about it this way. Like, the studio still is saying that, like, all right, maybe we could still, do this. Like, the Hollywood Reporter quotes, when cooler heads prevail. Mm-hmm. That's saying something that you don't want to go into a project if you get that pissed off at it before you've even rolled camera yet.
Before you even signed your name on the dotted line.
Yeah, no, before you've gone through the rest of the pre-production and you've met the staff and the rest of the studio crew and anything like that, like, and it breaks down. Like,
I think it's
nope.
doomed.
Terrible.
I think it's absolutely doomed because now Ben Affleck doesn't even want to be the Batman anymore.
He's like,
Does he really say that?
Yeah.
He's hinting at it. He's like, I think I'm going to be done at, even if we do actually do this movie, I'm out.
Yeah. There's been a few headlines talking about that. It's too much, and he doesn't want to deal with it.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all.
Yeah.
Not one bit.
I'm pretty sure there's a reason we've had like 18 Batmans in my life.
Yeah.
Well, yes and no, right? Like,
contracts and the
well, there's contracts, and then, like, I mean, Michael Keaton was good, George Clooney not so much.
Yeah.
You know, all of the Christopher Nolan films were fantastic, but you know that was done as a trilogy on purpose, right? You know, I don't know where else you go from there.
By the way, really weird that was a trilogy, but they totally just like set the Robin movies at the end. They're like, spike it, and then like
and then absolutely nothing.
We're going to hint that this guy's going to be Robin, and
no Nightwing,
nothing,
none of that.
Yeah,
like no possibility of any of that stuff.
They could have skipped right over Robin, because I understand there's maybe some context around Robin that it's like, oh well, he's kind of like, he's not that big of a deal. He's a sidekick traditionally, even though like Robin can be a fucking badass, you know.
Yeah.
But they don't have to do Robin. They could just go straight into a Nightwing.
That's what I'm saying. They could have gone straight
doesn't
into
Robin
Nightwing.
turn into Nightwing at some point? Yeah. Okay. I don't read that much DC.
Yeah,
so
Dick Grayson, after a while, he's like, you know what? I'm going to do my own thing. Goes to Bloodhaven, becomes Nightwing.
Okay.
Yep. And
Most of my
the hero
DC
of
knowledge
Bloodhaven.
comes from Teen Titans. So
Hey,
Teen Titans,
you get
go!
your Nightwing there, though.
what's that?
You get your Nightwing in Teen Titans.
I do. Well, but then Teen Titans Go is Robin,
Yeah.
who's fucking hilarious. I love that show. A lot of DC like nerds just went, "Fuck you! I hate that show." And I'm
Why
like,
do you watch that? That's not DC. That's made up.
Yeah, because I got a 3-year-old. That's why the fuck I watch that show, because I need something that isn't Doc McStuffins. That
There you go.
bitch is the worst fucking vet ever. I watched an episode this morning where a mole came in complaining of a broken arm, and she started checking her ears.
What?
Not even close, bitch.
She checked her ears, checked her eyes,
You know
found
the song?
out how much she'd grown,
Yeah.
and she's over here like, ah, my arm! Ah, there's so much blood! And she's like, and how tall are you?
What stuff?
We'll make you go, we're gonna make you watch an episode.
Oh, he's about to move in with me. He's
oh,
about
that's
to,
Yeah.
true. That's true.
he's about to
Yeah,
have a full-time IV.
Yeah, we're
of Doc
gonna
Stuffins.
have lots of kids.
This shit's gonna
stuff.
be embedded in his mind and
No,
the bottoms
no.
of his feet.
Yep.
Good thing we'll have the safe haven of Studio 2.
There you go. Studio Dos.
Studio Dos.
Back on track. So yeah, fuck Batman. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what
The
we were talking
Batman
That's
is
what
soon
we're
to
talking
become the dead man.
The Undertaker?
No.
Wait, if he's gonna be the Undertaker, please make it be like the scary Undertaker that's like right now, not the like mid 2000s Limp Bizkit version of the Undertaker when he
Yeah, what was-
rides the motorcycle down.
Yeah, no bueno
No.
on that one.
No.
He's gonna be a zombat.
Rolling.
What?
Ew. Ew. Here's something we haven't talked about in a while: Nintendo Switch.
Oh.
Oh, you did the you did the snap.
thing.
He did-
Yeah,
he
but I
did-
did it while you guys were weeing, because you know. A
What about
NeoGAF
it?
user has stolen, received it early, gave Reggie Fils-Aimé a hand job. I don't know, but he got a hold of it and unboxed it for all the world to see, including the UI and all that stuff. The problem is the Nintendo Switch doesn't come with a single game, so he has nothing to do with that until March 3rd.
He's just gonna sit there and be like, "Whoa, this is cool."
Yeah. It was like, look, it clicks. It does things.
Tape it to his head and be like, "Oh, it's a Switch UI in VR."
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Yeah, exactly. It's going to get a piece of cardboard. Have you guys seen the UI?
I have not gotten a chance to see it.
So it is it's a combination of the Nintendo Wii's UI and the Nintendo DS's UI.
Okay.
Interesting.
I mean, that's to be expected.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping for a good UI. Something.
It's Nintendo.
I know,
I think
but
you
a
were
boy
over-
can dream. Still, even at this salty, a boy can dream.
You know, I don't really have a huge problem with Nintendo's UIs. I mean, I don't spend a lot of time on my Nintendo fiddling around with extra features and like network connectivity. Like I literally just turn it on and go to the game. I don't ever spend any time navigating anything. And I don't tend to use like a lot of the Me stuff
The
and
Miiverse.
like, the AR stuff and all that shit. Like I'm literally just going straight into the cartridge, straight into the disc.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
Just want to play my game.
Yeah, and I imagine the Switch is not going to be that much different. I'm not going to watch Netflix on the shit.
Right.
I'm not,
Well, because it's not HD. It's not 4K or anything like that. Like, I think it's basic HD, I think.
Yeah,
but
it'll
it's
just
not,
be-
Yeah. Well, this leads us actually to a question, and we'll get to the second part of the Switch, the news that we have from this week. But, like, I was talking to another video game reviewer, good friend that we talk about all the time, Paul, this past week, and we were going back and forth on email like we do about video games, and he was trying to make the point that, like, the consoles are about the tech experience at first, and that the games will always have to catch up. I don't know in this generation, though, if we're actually going to get that ooh and ah out of the Xbox and the PS4. We haven't really gotten that yet.
Yeah, so I understand what he's saying. Like, you come out with the PlayStation 3, for example, and you have the Blu-ray player, and people are like, "Oh shit, Blu-ray! It's a new format, and it's like it's a big fucking deal." You come out with the next generation PlayStation 4, Xbox One. It's this huge graphics update. Well, what is the Switch? Mm-hmm. It's, it's just a repackaging essentially of the same type of mechanics that we saw out of the Wii.
Yeah.
Just a more clever implementation of it and sort of a portable kind of design. The only appeal is having a more powerful console that you can carry around. Mm-hmm. But if in that you don't have anything to flex with, what are you going to do? I mean, because at least with the PlayStation, like the PlayStation 3, for example, you spend a fuck ton of money on it, and there's not much of a library for it. You still have a Blu-ray player.
And it was one of the best Blu-ray players on the market at the time.
And it stayed that way for, like, all the way up until the PlayStation 4, almost.
Right. The question that I have that he's bringing up here is, like, it is doing things a little bit differently than the Wii, though. The Wii had an accelerometer that you basically waggled back and forth. Mm-hmm. You couldn't do the milking of the cows before you make a joke, Stryker. I see it coming. I'm making a cow milking joke. You should know this.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely not double dick.
Double dick.
He's not double dicking.
Not even there. But like, it is a little bit different in that, like, it is trying to bring the next thing to that equation in there. And with the unboxing, we're seeing, like, okay, everything that they said was going to be there pretty much is there. Does that change anything at this point? No, we're going to get our hands on it in 2 weeks. Like everybody else. And we'll play with it over the weekend. We'll have a full unboxing and a review and, all that kind of stuff. But does it change our mentality going into the console at this point to be thinking in those sort of ways?
Not really.
Yeah.
At least not for me. I'm still excited for it. It's been the ups and downs since we've seen more stuff come out with it.
Right.
But the excitement's still there because it is something new.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be hopefully a mass improvement over the Wii. Goddamn you.
Well, I would hope so. Yeah. No, it's the Wii U. The Wii U had a lot going for it at first, and then it just a lot of, like, Polygon and some other reviewers and things like that. Not Paul, obviously. Paul is arguing against some of this stuff because I brought up the question to him that was like, "Hey, this looks like a steaming pile of shit again." And I know I've got it on pre-order. I'm not canceling my pre-order, though I have been in some of the offline groups that I'm in who have, there's been a lot of people that have expressed that, like, yeah, they've canceled their pre-orders. They're just not they're going to wait and go through all the technical troubles and all that kind of shit that happens at first, and then see if it's going to be worth, spending almost $400 at launch to get something.
Get all the stuffs.
Well, yeah, but it's, the thing that I kind of wonder with a lot of that is, like, you're going to take a couple licks. Is it going to catch up and play Splatoon and Mario Kart and all the other things that it kind of comes up with it,
Which Mario Kart went on pre-order already.
It did. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm not hyped to pre-order it yet, although I'll probably play the hell out of it. Maybe we'll even stream it if we can.
Hopefully.
Throw it in the capture card and go, because it'd be a lot of fun to, like, stream some shit like that.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like, it's good party games. That's the thing. Mm-hmm. It is a good party game.
Which is what Nintendo is known for.
Exactly.
It is, yeah.
I mean, they kind of cornered that with the Wii. It was the party games, your Smash Brothers and stuff like that. And hopefully I'm excited to see what they do with the Smash Brothers on the Switch, because that'd be fantastic.
I will say, though, that, like, seriously, 1-2 Switch should not be an extra game.
No, it should come with it. It should come with it. Nintendo, what are you thinking?
Yeah. No,
give me a game in the box. Just like every other fucking console you've put out in the last 10 goddamn years.
Yeah. Well, like you said, it's a tech demo, and to holler back at what you were saying before about, like, well, this is more precise than the Wii U. Like, that would be a great showcase to show people how much more precise that it is. Otherwise, it's a subtle upgrade for most users.
Yeah.
We might get our hands on it, and we're being very meticulous about how it feels and the weight of it and the response of it. and we're going to get on here, we're going to talk about it. But most people are just going to pull it out of the box, and they're going to play the game. They're going to follow the instructions, and that's going to be that. And it's not a huge mechanical difference. It's a very subtle difference.
Right.
So, again, to go back to, like, the sort of you open as a tech showcase with your hardware, and then the software follows up. It's all degrees of subtlety, in my opinion. The only thing that it has going for it is the mobility of it, and that is like literally it.
Right. So the second part of our bit of news, it was released, I think it was technically released right around the time we put out the podcast last week, or maybe before that a little bit. We just didn't talk about it. Breath of the Wild, which is the one game that I think everybody on this team is looking forward to. I think it's the one game that everybody's like really looking forward to.
It's the only game I pre-ordered for the Switch. That's the only game I'm going to have at launch.
And God bless you for it.
No, it's true.
'Cause
I want ARMS doesn't come out right away at launch, does it?
No.
I want that game. That one does look fun.
I'd give that a try.
Yeah, no, I want to play that one. I'll do a review of it. But Breath of the Wild has already got pre-order for DLC and a season pass.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
I heard about that.
I heard about that. And I face palmed. I was like, what?
The last bastion of gaming console freedom. And it has fallen.
No.
Nintendo is now with their original IPs, including fucking season passes.
Well, and so here's the thing you get with the season pass, or what they call the expansion pass bonus, which will be available on March 3rd at launch. So it's already DLC that you can buy on day one. 3 new treasure chests. One is found in the Great Plateau, which I assume is the starting area from watching enough of the streams. Contains useful items. It doesn't say anything else. That is a bullet point on it. It contains useful items and includes exclusive in-game clothing, which I think I've heard is like a t-shirt that says Nintendo Switch on it.
That's all I'm going to say on that.
Keep reading, because the one that super pisses me off is coming.
It's coming up.
It's coming.
In summer of 2017, in DLC pack number 1, it adds new Cave of Trials challenges, which which is, I guess it's like the Assassin's like trials that you used to play in AC. Maybe, I don't know. I'm skipping over the one that's going to really piss you off. We'll come back to that.
Let's see how fast we can go through a cave.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo!
Another bullet point is an additional map feature. Very vague.
Okay.
And then Holiday 2017, we get a new original story, a new dungeon, and additional challenges.
Hey, actual content.
Yeah,
That's the
good
first
stuff.
piece of content that I'm like, okay, I'll bite on that maybe.
Maybe for $10.
But wait, there's more. Yep. In the first DLC pack that I skipped over, you can get a hard mode.
Woo! Hoover goes off range time.
Why? Why would you put difficulty settings behind a goddamn paywall? Sorry, Grandma. Seriously. Why would you? That's the most asinine shit on the face of this planet. And on top of that, everything before this is exactly what I've bitched about every podcast up into this with the open world shit. Hey, we added all this extra content. Guess what it is? A bunch of collectibles spread out over a big-ass fucking map that we did nothing. We just modeled a map, and here's a bunch of shit that we sprinkled on it.
Could have put
what
it
the
in
hell?
there, and you got to pay for it.
Yeah.
Now you have to pay $20 to pick up all of our shit. No, I'm not paying $20 to pick up all of this shit. I'm not playing it on hard mode. I'll play the whole game with my bare fucking hands and no weapon. Let's do it that way. How about that? Suck my dick. Under no circumstances ever would I pay for this DLC just based off of those bullet points.
Do you think that they added hard mode because of all the Dark Souls and now Neo and now... Do you see it being almost like that?
I don't...
As a hard mode? Like you
Probably
get 2 shot killed?
Maybe.
I think it feels like a weak fucking attempt at that.
I mean, if you're gonna do that, do that.
Zelda's
and that's
never
cool.
Well, but Zelda's never been easy. They're puzzles in the dungeons for a reason.
Yeah.
They're not hard per se.
But it's meant to challenge you.
But it is meant to challenge you, yeah.
Water Temple begs to differ.
Water Temple can suck
the
my
head bashing that happened in the Water Temple.
I got through it. I don't care. I've
We
seen
all
the end of that
did.
fucking game.
We all did, but we all bashed our heads against it a few times.
Of course.
But it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Going back through that actually on my 3DS.
Nice.
Yeah. I started doing that again too.
Good luck, friend.
So it's it seems like out of all the things that could have happened with the Nintendo Switch, if there was one thing that was going to keep me happy enough to want to try to review this, mind you, we're saying all this, we're going to review it fairly.
Yeah.
Anybody, I've gotten a few comments, we will review the fucking console fairly. We will review Zelda fairly.
Oh yeah,
But know that there is a lot of fucking salt going into it, so
yeah.
we've got to be proven.
We
right.
got to rake it back just to be.
No, it's not even rake it back. There is a high fucking bar out of just the games that have been released on 2017 that Zelda has to beat.
That's true.
We gave a 10 out of 10 to Neo last week. We're not going to give a 10 out of 10 to For Honor this week. But
and
you
we'll
know
tell you more about
we'll tell
that
you about
later.
it in a minute. But like, it's already got a high bar, and there's still a good 3/4 of the year left to do.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And we
So, yeah.
haven't even sat down with Resident Evil, and people are still raving about Resident
And
Evil
then
a
you
few
got-
weeks
That's
later.
true. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And normally, like the gaming climate right now, a game is cool for like a week, and then fuck it, and people are still talking about Resident Evil 7.
Well,
so
we've got Horizon Zero Dawn coming out next
on
week
the
that we'll
28th.
do.
Yep. Oh yeah, boy.
little concerned about the review embargo on that. Anytime something has a review embargo, I'm like, ooh.
They've got a lot of pre-reviews out, so we'll see how it goes. But I think that's just becoming the name of the game, by the way.
Yeah, that
like we've been
sucks.
talking about working with the PR agencies and stuff like that to get access to a lot of these games. Honestly, if we can just sit down for a day when a game comes out, we're just about as quick as everybody else at this point.
Yep.
Because of the review embargoes and things like that, which is fine. I would love to get it about a week early if we could.
It would be nice.
Sony, you guys, we've been trying to work a lot of these PS4 games in there. We got a lot of the indie guys that we're trying to hook up, but that's inside baseball kind of shit, right? Like this kind of stuff, though, it really gives you a hell of a lot of fucking because like the game was $59.99. Okay, getting back to Zelda, sorry.
Yep.
The game was $59.99. You buy it from wherever you can get a hold of it, right? Then they had all the stupid ass extra sets that people try to get a hold of.
The deluxe edition and the master edition.
Right.
Which the only difference between the two was the Master Sword statue.
Which is like a flexible plastic, by the way, because whenever Reggie pulled it out
It's
of
not
the
even
fucking box,
resin. It broke, didn't it?
no, it was bent.
It was bent. That's right.
It was like, bleh. Like it had been
Poor
crammed in a box.
manufacturing.
You needed some fucking Vicodin. Or not Vicodin. What's the other one? Viagra.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
Vicodin would have the opposite effect.
I will give at least the deluxe edition, which is what I pre-ordered, because you get the Switch carry case that actually looks pretty badass. But
I mean, cool.
yeah,
There'll be a $5 one available on Amazon and Walmart and all like that
I don't
after
care.
launch. So
I got it in the box. That's what
you can paint the Triforce on it.
Yeah.
No,
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, this is kind of shit. So the game is $59.99 at base value, okay, which is a version that I've got to review. So to get the season, to get on day one, whatever this extra stuff is, useful items.
$29.99.
No, just $20.
Oh, just 20.
18 euros, $20 is what it's being talked about right now. So you're now looking at a $79.99 game that you have to buy a system for. And like, it's getting a bit ridiculous with their one main IP.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna
Well-
say. It's just getting ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, like if they were to come around and they were to start reviving some of their bigger ones, like if this launch, they were like, "Hey, we got this new Zelda game, and guess what? 6 months from now, we're bringing down fucking Metroid, and then a year from now, we're bringing in Mario, and then like we got a fucking Wario party game, like." I mean, just give us more of those original IPs. Like, give us another Star Fox game that doesn't suck ass. Like, I don't know. Do something, Nintendo. They're worrying me. And to address the concern about like being too salty to review the Switch, all it's doing for me is it's setting the bar really low. I'm not expecting a whole lot out of Nintendo, but if they make me happy, they make me happy, and I'll let you know.
Yeah. We do this. I mean, we don't get a lot of the games, so we really are just giving like the yeoman's kind of like bit of work for this stuff. Like,
Yeah, getting all the info we can without breaking the bank.
It's by no means clouded by any PR or anything like that. It is our thoughts, feelings, expectations going into a review, and what we think about it coming out of the review.
Yep. And then even at that, like, for the stuff that we do review, we're spending our own hard-earned money to do it.
Yep.
So there you go.
Which is a good way to piss somebody off if you sell a piece of shit.
Anyway, no, that's true.
But
that's true.
I do have a side note on the hard mode. This is going off of what we talked about earlier, Hoover. It stems from the counterculture of get good, son. Like more and more games that are coming out today have some sort of competitive difficulty kind of mode to get into it, and it's affecting the rest of the gaming industry because they're like, well, we got to make it competitive so people play it.
But it's not. It's a story mode.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of people get, like, like there's a lot of streaming and stuff like that, but it's like, I don't care if somebody dies in Dark Souls.
Right.
Guess what? You're going to die. It's cool.
I mean,
I don't think you're a better person if you don't, and I don't think you're a lesser of a person if you do.
I don't think the difficulty is what makes Dark Souls and Neo good. It's the level design. It's the engaging combat. It's the mechanics of the game. And they are difficult inherently. If you make those mistakes, if you don't wrap your head around those mechanics, you're going to get wrecked.
No, there's no other way to say it. You are, you know.
Yeah. So, I mean, unless that difficulty thing also changes the mechanics of how a Zelda game plays, and you can't just, like, I don't know. I don't think it's good. I still think it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Next.
The last piece of news we have before we're going to go to the reviews is Donald Glover is going to voice Simba in the live-action Lion King movie.
Oh, I just can't wait for him to be king.
That's going to be awesome. I mean, is it sad that I was actually more excited the fact that James Earl Jones is coming back to voice Mufasa?
Yeah. No, that's going to be cool.
Than Donald Glover. I mean, The Lion King is my favorite Disney movie, hands down. Mm-hmm. But
you fucking up my... No. I can do it.
Dad. Stop.
No, it's there's a long story of why it's my favorite, but
which you're not allowed to go into anymore because you cut me off doing my favorite piece of Disney music ever.
Fine, sorry.
God,
hold on.
Damn it.
Wait. And go.
No.
Aww.
He broke it. He broke my spirit. He broke my key.
He's over here hugging himself.
I am.
I'm sorry.
Give us a review of For Honor.
All right.
Move on. Move quickly on.
So, For Honor. Overall, visually it was great. Mm-hmm. Stunning. Played it, the open beta for all 3 platforms that it came out. PC, Xbox, PS4. I'd say PC is my preferred way to play it. PS4 if you're only on a console. Xbox is just there, if that's all you got.
So is it PC just aesthetically, or are the controls better? Like,
yeah, no. Overall, in terms of controls, I felt it felt better on the PC too for changing the blocking stances, moving quicker with the mouse than flicking it with your thumbstick. Just felt more comfortable for me. Overall, but and essentially the best part of the game is the fight mechanics, the 3 stance dodge, but it's also heavy on skill.
So let's back up a little bit because in general, like, I understand everybody's been talking about For Honor. I've not really grasped, like, what is it? Like, why am I playing this game in the first place? Like, you play Zelda, you go on an adventure, you rescue a princess. You play Mario, you go on an adventure, you rescue a princess. It's a platformer. Like, you can describe it with those things. Every time I hear For Honor, people are just kind of like, it's...
It also has a samurai guy in it. I didn't realize this. But
it was meant to be kind of a medieval like hack and slash, but with more in depth. A lot of people are comparing it to Mount and Blade Warband, but it's definitely not even close to that. Mm-hmm. And it's the way they like what I said was like the concept is intriguing because the overall story arc is basically it was a very small geographic area where the Earth kind of like mushed together, and you got your Vikings, knights, and samurai all kind of mushed together in this small area, and then they all fucking fight each other because eons of war.
So this is like a 5-year-old me sitting down and playing on a Saturday morning.
Pretty much.
It's just like, I'm going to get my X-Men and my G.I. Joes, and they're going to fight.
Pretty much.
Nice.
There's no premise. They're just going to have a wrestling match.
Yeah, there's no premise.
And now, am I understanding correctly? There's like territory and shit?
Yeah, there's a kind of a meta game. They call it you earn war points that you can do, and that's cross-platform between all the platforms.
How does that work? What does that mean?
It's you redistribute like points you earn via the game for your faction, because when you start the game, you pick one of the 3 factions, Knights, Vikings, everything you do in the game, you earn points for towards the faction.
Okay.
That's how the metagame works, and then you pick areas, and whoever assigns the most points at the end of a 2-day period, basically, takes the territory, and it's a constantly changing color map, basically, and it's cool.
So it's got a little bit of planet side mixed in there, too.
Kinda, but it's all, the core game modes are 4v4 point domination, 4v4 just basically elimination, kill the fuck out of each other, 4v4 team deathmatch kind of, and then probably the best game modes are 2v2 brawls, where you're basically two duels happening at the same time, and once you kill your other dude, you can go help your friend, or 1v1 duels, and that's where the fight engine shines the best. But it's, again, like I was saying, it's heavy on skill, where you can try and mash the buttons and try and block all you want, but it's timing, it's knowing your skill combos, because there's specific move sets for each of the warriors or heroes, because there's 4 for each faction, and they range from your kind of well balanced to kind of big, I'm gonna just smash your face in, to quick, nimble, stabby stabs. But
okay.
There's various types for each type of playstyle that you'd want to do, which is cool. It varies it up, and a lot of customization, but it's a hell of a grind to do a lot of the customization, because the in-game currency system, it's hard to earn. So unless you're again get very good at the game and you start being successful, it's gonna be a heavy grind session to get all the cool gear.
So this raises 2 flags. First of all, I'm blown away that this wasn't an open world kind of game, because honestly, from all the marketing and all the shit that I was seeing, I really thought that this was going to be like an open world territory
Very
battle
much
kind of situation.
closed.
It really did feel like a lot like Dynasty Warriors, where it's just that open world, like, I'm just going to march my army against this army, and we're going to fuck some shit up and be done.
Nope,
Right.
not even close.
Yeah, I honestly thought this was going to be like Medieval Planet Side. But
which is unfortunate.
Sounds like it's
Medieval
just,
Planet Side should be a track we make and put it on our album. Medieval Planet Side.
Yeah, girl. So here's the other thing. Girl. Here's the other thing that really bothers me, and I'm just going to rehash the conversation you and I were having earlier and include Mallow in this, is that need to just consume people entirely. Listen, League of Legends and Dota, those are like, of the nerd world, those are like the NBA, the NFL. Those are the big time. You are not going to have some obscure Japanese team pole tipping team that is going to like hit it big, and it's going to be the next big thing. Like, all these games just want to be this thing where they come out, and instead of just being a cool game that you can just jump into real quick, you've got to just like dedicate so much time and so many hours to achieve anything, and it's just terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I was playing Nuclear Throne earlier today, and it threw like half the game's bonuses and unlocks at me my second playthrough. And I'm probably going to dump another 200 hours into that. I'm going to be honest.
Well, that's the difference between a procedurally generated kind of world that's easy to just jump into and go, and this whole thing of like, I guess here's the question I'm going to say, is like For Honor might be a little procedurally generated in some ways, like the ways that it goes with, from what I've sort of played and seen. The question I have for you is this seems a little bit like it's a pure multiplayer game. I know there's a single player to it. It seems like you would just bypass the single player completely.
Basically,
go to multiplayer.
I was actually going to get the single player is basically a training mode. for the most part. It's got there's a very, very, very
You're playing against bots, basically?
Yeah. Very, very weak storyline. I've only played 2 levels of the single player because it's, as you said, you just skip it and not play it. Like, when I got into the 4, like, I played it at PAX 2 years ago for the first time and had one of my most enjoyable PAX experiences in that game. That's why I really wanted to give this game. I had high hopes for it because I'm like, this was a fantastic experience for me there. And then you let me down a little bit.
Here's a question. When it compares to something like Overwatch, it's a completely multiplayer-only game, and sinking that many hours into it, you've just said the word grind about, I think if I counted correctly, 7 times?
Yep, already.
Overwatch never felt like a grind to me,
it doesn't.
even though I'm not level 100 like some people sitting at this table. And other people that are part of...
problem. You have a problem.
Look, we're all airing our grievances. But, like, you know what I'm saying? But it never feels like a grind. Like, yeah, there's a certain amount of time where, like, all right, I'm tired of playing Overwatch. I'm going to go do something else.
Yeah, you can only
right?
play so much of it.
Right. And granted, like I said, I haven't played enough of it. But, like, that's the problem with, like, a Battlefield to me right now. With Battlefield 1 or Battlefront that we've been talking about. It always felt a little bit like a slog. And that's where this is kind of, like, you're nodding your head a little bit. Like, that's what this kind of feels like.
Oh,
it feels like
does.
you're as painful... Like, it's a painful kind of, like, run with these Vikings.
Yeah, no, it's like when I go to play it, since it's been out since Tuesday.
Right.
To begin with, the launch was fucking terrible because the way they do the servers, there's no dedicated servers on any platform. It's all P2P.
Terrible.
Yeah. So the first
It
time
really
I went
is.
to play it, it took me 7 attempts just to get into 1 round.
Well, here's the thing, and this is something that, like, Ubisoft makes some good stuff. We enjoyed Watch Dogs last year. Far Cry. But for fuck's sake, they cannot get multiplayer, and they can't get PC ports correct to save their life. It is impossible for them to do that.
Ubisoft scares the shit out of me. It
does. It really
they're up
does.
there
Yep.
with EA games. Like, as soon as I see Ubisoft on the title, I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait for the inevitable shit show to pass and see if it's worth playing after the fact. And it's proven me correct repeatedly.
A couple of times now, yeah.
No, it's definitely, it's not a game that if you want to get it as I'm going to just pick this up and play a couple rounds kind of game, you're going to get fucked. Like, hard.
Right.
Are there a lot of 12-year-olds going, get good, motherfucker?
Yeah.
Shit.
So
already, like, you get wrecked by 3, especially, like, so my preferred modes are the 1v1 or the 2v2 because it settles everything and you can focus, so you can see what's coming. You get into the 4v4 modes, it does not take much to get 3 people on your ass and then you're boned, like, royally.
Sounds about right.
So here's my issue. I've said repeatedly, if you're going to have, like, you said that there's, like, unlocks. I'm assuming, like, weapon unlocks and stance unlocks and things like that.
Well, not stance, but weapons, armor, and cosmetic stuff.
Right.
Yep.
I love having unlockable cosmetic stuff. I hate having unlockable weapons.
Yeah.
Even with Team Fortress, I enjoyed Team Fortress for the most part, but there was still a small gap for a while where, like, I would see, like, a demo man charging at me, and I'd be like, how the fuck is this happening? Demo man's mechanics do not work that way.
Right.
What's going on? You referenced Overwatch.
Yeah.
There is no weapon swapping, changing, upgrading, none of that to Overwatch.
Yep.
It is all cosmetic. And that's why whenever I get into a match and I get super fucked, I'm not like, wow, that felt super unfair. I'm pissed at myself and my team for just being a bunch of chuckle fucks. But at no point am I like, wow, that fucking rocket launcher is way OP. They need to balance the shit out of that.
Yeah, no, there's definitely, like, a few of the classes.
Well, except for Symmetra. Fuck her.
I mean, overall, there's classes that you're like, well, shit. Because they're almost invincible out of the gate. And you're like, what? How the fuck are you supposed to beat this guy?
Yeah.
And then it's definitely, like, the core mechanics are kind of the shining point of this game. That's really it. That's all I can say. That's the thing. If you can refine that and get it into a better environment, I think you got something, Ubisoft. But what you put it in now,
So you mean like an open world, like large scale combat kind of situation?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, like the thing you marketed to us. Whoa! Ubisoft, you're onto something, kid. You're gonna be.
It did always feel like it was a large open world.
You thought it was going to,
didn't it?
Everything that I've seen was.
Yeah,
I thought.
Because the thing that they did with the marketing was they marketed the hell out of the 4v4 Dominion mode, which looks big, where you have the AI soldiers running up with you and you can smack them and then fight against your other players as well.
Yeah. Is this like League of Legends where you got to take out the waves before you can get to the towers and shit like that?
Not quite.
Okay.
Because most of the maps on the 4v4 domination, there's 3 points, A, B, and C. A and C are the closest to the two spawn sides.
Right.
Makes sense.
And then in the middle is B, where you have the little minions fight over that, and whatever has the most minions and that you killed will hold that, basically.
Obviously with your
assistance.
or whatever like that. Okay. So it's got a little League of Legends almost kind of feel to it. Yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, other than that,
that's lame.
Yeah.
I got to admit, that's kind of lame. I don't know what score you're about to give this game, but that it doesn't make me want to rush out and go pick it up and start playing when I've got Neo staring at me.
So score-wise, in terms of a to 10 scale, barely a 7. Like,
okay,
very, like, almost.
You can say 6.5?
6.5, but to be fair, I'll give it a 7 because of the combat system.
Yeah.
Okay, so we gotta pause for just a second, because is that like an IGN 7 fucking unplayable, or is that like a legitimately
that's a
on a scale 10? Like,
that's on
it wouldn't be that bad, like if you got a copy on sale.
It wouldn't be bad if you got a copy on sale.
Okay.
I think.
Or if you're into that kind of, like, I mean, these people, there are probably going to be a lot of people that are going to sink 100 to 200 hours into this.
A good chunk of my coworkers, are like, oh my god, it's the best game. Like do
they talk just like that too?
Yes, they do.
Wow. I didn't know you worked with Beaker.
You're such a kind person.
Oh yes, so much. But they just talk about that game all the time. I'm like, that's cool. I wanted to like it as much as you guys do.
Yeah.
I just couldn't because it wasn't there. Like, but the funny thing is, you were saying about is it an IGN 7, which is unplayable. IGN gave the game an 8, by the way.
It did. I just looked it up.
Damn near unplayable then.
Damn near unplayable.
No, like their review was just like, oh, it's actually a lot better than a lot of people think. And I'm like, what the fuck are you smoking?
Well, I mean, it's got a 76 on Metacritic, which means that Ubisoft did a lot of like hand holding.
Yeah, they did. A lot of ways. Yeah.
I mean, it really did.
I mean, I can see from what you're explaining, it sounds totally 100% unappealing to me. Because whenever I play a game, I got to spend like one evening sinking a bunch of time into it, and then I may not touch it again for another month.
Yeah.
This sounds like a game that you play every day when you come home for a few hours.
It has to be. I mean, that's the only way that you can continue to keep
practice.
up.
It's like job the game, which is what Warcraft was after a while.
Well, yeah, totally.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's why I had to abandon Rocket League too, because I kept on, like, you rank up in Rocket League and you get placed with people who are better and better, and then I'd take like a month off and I'd come back and I'd be like, all right, how do I rocket jump again? And people are like fucking, like, they don't even let the ball touch the ground from one end to the other end.
It was the same thing with the first Titanfall. If you took
some time off on Titanfall,
you were screwed.
Yeah, I did that. I took some time off on Titanfall. I played it on console because I had people who wanted to play it on console. They hated it, so then I went back and played it on PC, where it's much easier to play. And yeah, that was terrible.
Joe and I have a story revolving Titanfall. Basically, we were playing it, and then one of the many cases of fuck you EA happened, and both of our accounts got banned the same day. For a bullshit because we were playing Battlefield 3 at the time, and they were giving out a free DLC thing.
Yeah,
and all of a sudden they're like, "Yeah, but you both got banned for a fraudulent chargeback for a DLC for Battlefield 3." And we're like, how the fuck does that happen when it was free?
Yeah.
So I got my shit like unbanned like that, quick, easy, because I called them on the phone. I'm like, fucking fix this shit. And
they just switched him to unbanned.
God damn it.
Poor Joe though. They took their sweet merry ass time, a month.
Ugh.
It took to get him unbanned.
This is why I don't give EA my money, man.
No.
And So by the time that he gets unbanned, we go to play it again, and we're just getting railed.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah,
You got guys that are doing ninjutsu flips, running up walls
exactly.
and
And
shit.
so we're like, nope, we're done.
Yeah.
But yeah, 7 out of 10. So on our scale, I'm only going to give it, because we have our super magical. I like the new one for just shit can terrible.
Yeah.
Super tragical.
Oh.
I'm only going to give it the one word, and that's just super.
Who knows?
Yep.
It's super something.
No.
Yeah.
No. Super's not good.
No.
That's average. Or mediocre.
Yeah.
You could do mediocre.
Mediocre, yeah.
It's a thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Mediocre.
It would definitely a lot left on the table that Ubisoft could have done with that game.
And then they will probably sell it back to you on a $69.99 season pass later.
Oh, yeah, no, it's already out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
and
For
I'm not
Honor
gonna
2,
buy it.
they're going to reskin
Yeah, that's true.
everything, and they're going to be like, check it out. Now you have 6v6.
Yeah, well, that's
Ooh.
true. Like in true Ubisoft fashion, right? Like they'll have the second version of whatever it is will be better than the first.
No,
You
it
know.
won't.
Really?
No, it won't.
Well, if we're following Ubisoft
If we're following
patterns,
yeah,
Well,
yes, it
yeah,
will.
the
that's
second
true,
one
yeah.
will be better. The third one will be great. And
No,
then
the
the
third
fourth,
one will be shit.
No, the third one will be fucking terrible.
Well, hang on. Do you count the third Assassin's Creed as the third Ezio? Like the
No,
second
we're
Ezio?
getting into Ezio.
No, that was 2.
That was 2.
No.
But then there was a
Yeah,
third
hold on.
Ezio game.
We're talking chronologically, the third game. I'm not saying number 3. I'm saying chronologically,
okay, yeah.
as released, the
Yep.
third game, which would be
Brotherhood.
like an extension of 2, I guess.
Yep.
It was like a spin-off of 2.
Yeah, you had Assassin's
Brotherhood.
Creed 2, Brotherhood.
Assassin's Creed
Right.
2 had Ezio though.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 was pretty
2
good.
was good. Yeah.
One was pretty good.
Yeah.
2 was better.
Yeah.
3 was
Fantastic.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brotherhood, yeah.
And then you get on to actual 3. in
no,
this
there was
case for
one more in
Assassin's
the
Creed.
Ezio.
Well, yeah, it went through its
Yeah.
like that.
Revelations.
That was DLC.
That was the same game. It was.
Yeah.
Just
It was really
like they
was,
added
yeah.
more
It was,
shit.
yeah.
And
And made
then
it
whenever they
it was
finally
revelations that the story department weren't doing their job. That's what it was.
Yeah, but then Assassin's Creed 3, you're like, who the
on the
Actually-
4th iteration of For Honor, it will be an abortion.
Hey, no.
Men and women will cry. There will be a gnashing of teeth.
A
Actually-
river
People will
of blood.
burn copies of For Honor 4.
If we're
in
going
the
off the
street.
Assassin's Creed scale, Black Flag.
Was
Okay,
terrible.
so then and then
An absolute
in the
fucking
fifth
nightmare.
one, in the 5th one, they'll have one mechanic that really appeals
Well,
to everybody,
so
and the
that-
rest of it'll be a shit show.
So then, because
I have it tattooed on my arm.
Yes.
I know what I'm talking about. I'm so sad. I'm so sad about this tattoo.
There's been a lot of screaming in
Yes.
this episode.
I'm sorry to your family.
Gotta really work on that soundproofing in here.
Yeah.
A real quick John Wick 2 review. It's fucking awesome.
Hell yeah, it is.
That's it. That's all you need to know. It's fucking awesome. There's bullets.
Gunful.
Dude, Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves.
Gunful.
Yeah.
I gotta say, anything Keanu Reeves is in, whether it's good or bad, he's such a good soul. I'll
Oh,
spend
yeah.
money to see it.
Yeah.
that
He's
dude,
worth it.
That dude is a fucking saint.
And Lawrence Fishburne comes back for this one, so it's even better.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Go-
Somebody get this man a gun. Yes. As
Yeah.
a matter of fact, yes. Do that, please.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, go watch that.
Go support Malo's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Logan comes out on the 3rd, which I'm really
Same
excited.
day as
Oh,
the Switch.
shit.
Now we got to
Yeah.
prioritize how much Switch time do we want to put in, or do we
I
want to see
have.
Logan?
So this is the problem. I'm gonna have to go to like the midnight showing Thursday night to get the Logan review done.
It's
True.
gonna
then
gonna be
get up ass early to go to Emerald City Comic Con the next day and present all fucking day. And the Switch will be waiting for me when I get home that night.
It's gonna be a real risky entertainment weekend.
Yes,
Oh,
it
God,
is.
Gonna be
yes,
like
yeah.
maybe Logan's good, maybe the Switch is good, maybe Logan's good, maybe the ECC won't suck.
No. Logan will be good. The
Yeah?
ECC probably will not suck for me at least.
No.
There you go.
I don't know about the rest of what's going on, but I don't think it's gonna suck for me.
So, I mean, it'll probably be good, but 3/4 of the crowd will just be waiting in line to get Stan Lee's autograph because it's his last appearance.
I'm not gonna say that I'm not gonna spend some time behind the scenes there trying to get Stan Lee's
There
autograph
you go.
and a picture. And if I do, it'll be all over the goddamn internet.
Oh, yeah.
He's
So-
gonna be spending some money and sucking some dick, and he's
He's
gonna
like,
get
I
back
gotta
there.
meet that Stan Lee.
I will pull. If you guys work for ECC, those folks here in Seattle, I just need 5 minutes of the man's time. Not even that. I just want to high five him, hug him, get a picture, thank him most importantly. And then I'll be on my way.
Gently
Yep.
high five that man. He's fragile.
No.
and a national
I'm just
treasure.
gonna hold. No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold up my hand and let him high five me.
There you go.
That's it.
Because
Yeah.
that way we, I'm not fucking orange dictator
Not- hey,
asshole.
no.
I don't just take the hand and go, oh, you're mine now. That
Hold on.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
That motherfucker does
oh.
the scorpion. Get over here. Get over.
No, now I just imagine Mallow like running up to Stan Lee and just tucking him up under his arm and being like,
All I
This is
gotta
scuttling
say,
off.
just to comment off of what Mal was saying about our illustrious handshaking crazy man.
it's entertaining
I
to
love
watch it.
yeah, no. Justin Trudeau is my new hero.
Do you have a man crush on him too?
No, so
Because everybody's got
Yeah,
a fucking
But
crush on that
before
man.
before you explain it, I'm sure most people have seen it. No matter how you feel politically about the orange man in office,
Yes.
you've probably figured out how we feel, and sorry about getting political on a gaming show.
I wasn't even getting political. I was just, that's fucking hilarious.
I mean,
Yeah, it
we,
is.
we take
try
digs
to-
at him. It's
Yep.
this part that it doesn't matter how you feel about him.
Yeah.
It's entertaining to watch him shake
Him
another
shake
man's hand.
hands is
Oh,
the
yeah.
most
It's
like
hilarious.
aggressive thing ever. He literally is pulling off a goddamn fighting move.
Did you see who was he meeting with? Was it Japan or?
It was the Japanese prime minister.
Yeah,
that,
it was
like,
the Japanese
turned around.
prime minister, and he turned around and like I don't know what Japanese is for what the fuck is happening, but I'm
You
pretty
didn't
sure
have
that's
to-
what he mouthed
no.
at the camera.
That was the universal sign of oh my god.
What
He just
the
turns-
hell just happened?
So Trump grabs a hand, and then he tries to like hide that hand in his back pocket. As that's like his.
He's like, I'm gonna hide this
Sure.
here for the later.
Where's
'cause,
mine now? No, Trump. That's not how a handshake works. Calm down, friend. And he does it to everybody. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter if they're playing on his team or not.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
just, he's
That's
like,
just how
is
he
this hand
shakes
fake?
hands.
Like, one of these days, he's gonna catch a veteran, and he's
Oh,
gonna
it's
be
gonna-
like, come here, boy. And he's gonna grab that hand, and it's just gonna pop. And then he's gonna
freak the fuck
Like,
out.
Oh,
they're just gonna cut. They're gonna cut to the announcer, and he's gonna be like, "Who else but Donald?" Wop wop slappity doo.
That's like one of those things where it's gonna be like, I knew it. I knew there were fake people. It's gonna confirmation bias everything
But-
for him right there.
They're robots.
I actually saw my favorite meme coming off of the whole Trudeau meeting. Was basically it's like, how terrible do you have to be to make a Canadian want to be rude?
That's actually a really good question. That's actually a really good question.
Hey, sorry, but you're being a dick, eh? Oh, Justin. Thanks
Yes,
thanks
thank
for
you.
giving him a challenge in that handshake,
you.
I guess.
Yeah.
That was like sports commentary coming off of that
Yeah.
shit. Delicious.
Well, on that political note, on that what do they call it at the end of Grand Tour? On that
On that bombshell.
No, that's Top Gear.
No,
That's
they,
copywritten.
no. They were they still say that.
No, they do not.
Oh.
It is terrible
why-
disappointment.
why
don't-
On that terrible
Terrible disappointment.
disappointment,
Why
we
don't
will
you
end
two
this
like
episode.
handshake over that? See who wins that particular
I
argument.
will prove it immediately after this.
Yeah. I'm pretty confident he's
Yeah.
right.
And on that terrible disappointment, it's time to end the show. You've been listening to Super Magical Podcast. Thank you, everyone, for putting up with all of our bullshit this week. Thank you to Jess, to Paul, to Nathan, who all had the same question for the podcast this week of, what the fuck is going on with the Batman movie? So I hope we answered it for you.
Hopefully.
As best we can. Honestly, we got no fucking idea.
Because they don't either.
They don't either. Yeah. So there you go. If you haven't already, please subscribe between iTunes, Stitcher, and YouTube. Leave us a 5-star review. We will give you a shout out on the show. Make sure you write a review and put your name on it so we know it's you, so we can say hi and thank you. We do no paid advertising for this show. So all of this is really just the only way that we can get out there and get in front of other people. The podcast is recorded here in Seattle as a production of Super Magical and Humanoid Games. Our executive producer is Alligator Pete. Our benevolent overlord is Grandpa Joe. If you have a comment or question for the show, find us on Facebook, Twitter, fucking carrier pigeon. I don't care. Send it to us. We will love to discuss it on the show.
You just grab that bird and you just go, Hoover is bad. You tell him. Tell him. I'm tired of him talking about the Switch. Go bird. Fly.
If they want to learn more about you and your streaming and all your news and everything like that, Hoover, how can they find you?
Shake a carrier pigeon and tell it to go to Hoover is bad.
On Twitter.
On Twitter.
All one word, on Twitter.
It's a new kind of Twitter.
Stryker. Stryker, if they want to know more from you and your streaming and all your reporting, how can they find you?
At Stryker2241 on the normal Twitter, not the bird Twitter, but the normal
Bird Twitter.
I mean, if you want to shake a bird to death in your own time, you go right ahead. Just don't mention us.
Please,
Don't mention us after.
Please don't kill birds. That's
We
not
like
nice.
animals on this podcast.
Yeah.
Please don't kill.
I do too.
And if you need to get a hold of me and complain about Hoover, you can do it on Twitter. It's the Malaman, all one word. It's also on Facebook, the Malaman, all one word. I guess if we don't get banned by the FCC, we will see you all again next week. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.